Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is lesson number 2 of our preparation course for planning engineers. In this lesson, we'll talk about the content of the project management plan. The project management plan is what we are going to prepare in this course, and I will talk about all the contents in details in the specified lessons. This lesson is to go through the content of the project management plan to know what we are going to prepare in our course and to give you better idea for what you are going to learn in the next lessons. The content of the project management plan. Since this course is for planning engineers, therefore I will talk about the required documents from planning engineers. However, the project management plan could contain other documents prepared by others and not related to planning engineer, such as QA/QC policy and safety regulations, etc. These types of documents I will not mention in our course, just to concentrate on the document you will create as a planning engineer. The first document in our project management plan is a project time schedule. The project time schedule is a contractual document between the client and the contractor, which defines the forecast sequence, progress of the work, and the contractual start, finish, and milestone dates. How to read and understand Primavera time schedule. Primavera time schedule layout usually contains two main sections, bar chart and activity list. To understand the time schedule, you should first read the colors. This is a layout of a time schedule. To read the time schedule fast and accurate, just read the color first. Each color in the Primavera has different indication in the activity list area. This is the activity list area. We have here color. I name each color. I put a number for each color and I'll explain to you what does this number mean. The activity list area. The colors in the activity list area represent the work breakdown structure, WPS, of the project. It means the first color, which is I name it 1, is the first WPS. Number 2, second WPS. Number 3, third WPS, and so on. This WPS work breakdown structure, it is a hierarchy color coding. Identify different levels. Each Primavera time schedule has its own WPS. And I will explain the time schedule color coding to give you an idea how it works. Item number 1. Item number 1 represents the root level, which summarizes the whole Primavera time schedule and cannot be repeated. For example, if you want to know the Primavera time schedule overall duration, you should go here to root number 1, level number 1, and go to the duration column here and read the duration. This will give you a summary for all the levels above, i.e. for our example, level number 1 will give you summary for level number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Item number 2, this one, represent a secondary level of the time schedule and can be repeated, and it summarizes whatever underneath until you reach another level 2. For example, here we have the level 2 here. This summarizes from level 2 here until we find another level 2. So this column summarizes between two of the same color. In our sample, level 2 represent project milestones. shop drawing, submittal, testing, and commission. So here we have 3 level 2. This 1, 2, 3 of the same level. Each level summarize this area, and this level summarize this area, and this level summarize the area below. Item number 3, 4, 5, and 6 are representing further levels, and each level, which is color, summarize down direction until you reach the same level, the same color again. So between 2 red colors or 2 blue colors, as you can see here. Of course, we'll know this one in details when we go to Primavera, and we'll see how to create this color coding and WBS and so on. So just I'm giving you a very quick idea about how it looks like the Primavera layout. Here, the item number 7 represents the lowest level in the work breakdown structure, which is the activity layer. We'll talk now about the bar chart area. We have colors in the bar chart area. This is bar chart area. We have the blue color, which I name it A. This is actual work done. It is the history. B, remaining work. This is green one, the future. C, baseline schedule, contract or revised schedule, which is the black one. D, which is red, the critical path. Any delay in this activity will delay the project completion. So you can simply, from the first look, you can see what is the schedule, if it is ahead or behind from this indication. Of course, we'll talk about everything in this in details when we come to the second thing. Read the data. B, read the data. We have here item 1, the activity ID. Activity ID is a numbering system identifying each activity. Number 2, activity name, the description of the activity. Number 3, original duration, the period of time required to execute the activity, or a summary of the duration required to execute a group of activity under certain level. Number 4, duration percentage complete. This is activity percentage completed from the time point of view. And this percentage complete indicates the forecast completion date, which is in item number 8. This is the forecast completion date. As I mentioned before, this is only a quick view of the Primavera layout, and we will know in details what is the Primavera look like when we come to this point. Okay, 5, BL project start. BL is a shortcut of baseline, which represents the planned start as per baseline schedule, and these values are fixed. Column 6, actual / forecast start. This is recording of the project history, when each activity actually started, or forecasting when this activity will start. To know whether the date in this column is actual or forecast, look for the letter A. If you found below a letter A, it means actual. If you didn't find a letter A, it means it is a forecast date. Number 7, BL project finish. BL again is a shortcut for baseline, which represents the planned finish as per the baseline schedule, and these values are fixed as well. Number 8, actual forecast finish. This is recording of the project history, when each activity actually finished, or forecast when this activity will finish. So if we found a letter A beside this date, it means actual. If we didn't find the letter A, it means forecast. Column number 9, variance BL project finish. This indicates the variance between the planned project finish, which is item number 7, and actual forecast finish, item number 8. And this highlight whether the schedule is ahead or behind the baseline and how many days the variance. The second document in our project management plan is the cash flow. After finalizing the time frame, we will able to populate the schedule with the budget cost for each activity with the help of a form called cost loading. To prepare the cost loading, we create activity list in the WBS work breakdown structure order with quantity distribution and budget cost. See this example. We prepare what we are seeing now, we call it cost loading. We put the BOQ, we prepare the activity, we put the BOQ description to maintain and calculate each activity amount. This will put it again in the Primavera so we can create the cash flow. We will talk, of course, how to create each sheet of this one or each document in details when we come. Once we run the schedule after calculating the cost for each activity, which calculated from the cost loading, the cash flow can be created from the Primavera and we can represent it in Excel as per photo tool. So we getting the data here from Primavera, we put it in another format in Excel just to give us this graphical shape, because the Primavera has a strong graphical presentation. So we get the data from the Primavera and we put it directly in the Excel. So this is the cash flow. Manpower histogram. To create manpower histogram, we need to create an Excel sheet similar to the cost loading, but we calculate the manpower instead of the budget cost. We call it resource loading. So we have here the same work we did for the cost loading, but instead of calculating the cost for each activity, you're calculating how many manpower we need for each activity. And we'll know how to create this one in detail. After the completion of the resource loading sheet, we will upload the Primavera with the manpower budget units for each activity, and this will create the manpower histogram. This is the manpower histogram from Primavera, and of course we can do the same. We can copy paste to the Excel to have better graphical shape. This is the graphics from Primavera itself. Shop drawing tracking log. This is document number 3 in our project management plan. The aim of the shop drawing tracking log is to keep monitoring the progress of the shop drawings. The shop drawing pass some certain stages until it is issued for construction. The shop drawing should be submitted first to the client or to the consultant, then it is get approved, then you forward to the construction guys to execute the work. So we are monitoring the progress of shop drawing submittal and approval in order to ensure that the work progress will not be stopped or delayed because of the shop drawing availability. Normally the consultant or the client will not allow the contractor to start any activity without approved shop drawing. Shop drawing tracking log should be coordinated with the technical department to provide the planning engineer with a list of the forecast shop drawing for all the trades. The planning engineer should drive this process by supplying the technical department with the proper form. To fill the shop drawing list, and then planner fill the plan dates from the schedule and give the form to the document controller to keep updating it. So this is a sample of shop drawing log. We have here the list of the shop drawing. We have the plan submittal date, actual submittal date, and we have some certain column according to our project requirement. And we'll talk about this one in details as well in our course. Material procurement tracking. The aim of creating the material tracking log is to monitor the project materials submitted, consultant or the client approval, purchasing the material, manufacture or procurement of the material, shipping of the material, and the material delivery. So we need to know or we need to inform the procurement department when we need this material on site. So going back from this date, we should ship the material. If it is outside the country, we should ship it from outside in certain date in order to be delivered to the site in the required date. To be shipped on this date, it should be manufactured or procured in earlier date. And going back step by step, we will know exactly what is the stages of the material from submitting. The first stage is submitting the material for the consultant or the client approval. Then we receive the client or the consultant approval. Then we issue the purchase order to the supplier or to the manufacturer. According to the procurement period or manufacture period, we will have the manufacturer start date and finish date. We will have the shipment date. If it is coming from outside, so we have shipment clearance, then the delivery period required to the site. This is very important if you have long lead materials which will take so many weeks to deliver to the site. You should plan it from the beginning. The material tracking log should be coordinated with the procurement department to provide the planning engineer with a list of the materials along with the forecast delivery duration for all the trades. The planning engineer should drive this process by supplying the procurement department with the proper form to fill, and then planner fill the planned date from the schedule and give the form to the document controller to keep updating it. All of these documents we are talking about will be updated in weekly basis and will be part of our weekly and monthly report. So number 5, weekly and monthly report. Mainly the weekly and monthly report is an update of the previously mentioned document in addition to the summary sheet, photos as per consultant and the client requirements. Project management plan contents vary for different stages in the project. I prepared for you here a brief description for the stage on the different stage of the project, what could be the document name and what is the contents of this document. The contents and the level of the details vary in the project different stages, and we can see here in this table. Let's say the first column here is the bidding stage. At the tender stage, what is required from planning engineer for the different project management plan document? We have usually it is in the first month of the project or first 2 weeks or whatever is specified in your contract, you have to submit something regarding to the planning. So we will consider this one the first submittal or the first batch of submittals required from planning engineer as the first month of the project, let's say. And then we have here another submittal of the project management plan, and this will be the detailed one. Let's talk about one by one. The time schedule. At the bidding stage, you are only required to prepare a tender schedule. It is a high level schedule without any details. But in the first month of the project, you should prepare master schedule, which should contain some details and the strategy of the work, how you are going to execute the work, if you are going to split the project into phases or something like this, but it is still master schedule. Later on, when you have the full information, normally it is about 1 month after the project start, you should prepare the detailed schedule, which contains all the details or your plan activity divided per floor, per area, per zone according to your project size. So this is called detailed schedule. The second document will talk about the cash flow. At the tender stage, the cash flow is high level cash flow, and it is as per the tender schedule. So it is only high level, showing the forecast cash flow to inform the client about the forecast payment and so on. As the first month of the project, we should prepare a master cash flow. Of course, it is related to the master schedule, which has no much details. Later on, when we have all the information, we should prepare a detailed cash flow. The client or the consultant could ask you about the cash flow per floor or per building or per zone or per area or whatever. So this one can be extracted easily from the Primavera, and we'll know how to do this one in our lessons. Manpower histogram. At the bidding stage or the tender, you are submitting high-level histogram, high-level manpower histogram. The first month, you submit a master histogram, could have all the resources, but in the detailed histogram, you should prepare all the resources you have individually. And we'll come to this one in our coming lessons to tell you how to prepare each one of them. Shop drawing tracking. Shop drawing tracking is not applicable in the tender stage. But in the first month of the project, you should have a master shop drawing tracking. After 1 month, you should prepare the detailed shop drawing tracking, which contain all the shop drawing in your project. Materials tracking. You could submit at the bidding stage or the tender stage a high level long lead materials only the long lead, but it's still high level, maybe no details, some delivery days is not clear within some range. At the first month of the project, you should finalize and ensure that the long lead materials will be submitted as your first submit. 1 month later, you should prepare the detailed material tracking, which include all the material in your project and the delivery dates and planned dates, as we'll explain later. Weekly and monthly reports, bidding stage not applicable, and this is a continuous document to be submitted based on the above document. So in our weekly and monthly report, in the first month will be based on the master schedule, master cash flow, master histogram, and master shop drawing and long lead materials. But later on, when we have the detailed one, we will base our submittal on the detailed one. I hope this lesson will help you to think about what we are going to learn. And don't be afraid if you didn't understand a lot of what we said now. Just I'm telling you a general idea about the project management plan. We will go deeply in each one and explain it practically through a real project, and you'll find it is very easy and nothing complicated here. And we'll be ready to create our project management plan. Of course, your first project management plan will not be 100% accurate, but the more you have participate on this one, the better you will be in the future. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lesson.